Majora's Mask Remodeled.
Hello everyone, and welcome to the very first episode of Majora's Mask Remodeled, where we transform every single mask from Majora's Mask using the imagery of Africa and other cultures from around the world. Today's featured mask is the Bunny Hood. For those in the audience who haven't played The Legend of Zelda Majora's Mask, it's an adventure game where you have to save the world from a moon that's about to fall onto the earth. And to help in your adventure, you get all sorts of masks with different abilities. And those masks are the subject of today's video. In this show, I'd like to share with you some of the sketch work that goes into making the final image. And that's what I'm going to be showing to you right now. So to start, let's show the little doodle I did of the bunny hood from Majora's Mask. I did this doodle from memory, and it's not too far off from the original. The bunny hood's a pretty simple looking thing, and that's partly why I wanted to redo this design. My initial idea to make this thing more mask-like was to take some cues from a rare Makonde mask. It's said that in many East African stories that the bunny is a trickster character. So kind of like Bugs Bunny. Hey, you never know, there could be an actual connection there via the diaspora, because Bugs Bunny was probably inspired by Brer Rabbit. And Brer Rabbit is a classic African-American folktale character who is also a trickster. So yeah, that could be a real connection between Africa and Bugs Bunny. How about that? Aren't you glad we went down that rabbit hole of logic? Anyway, next to that design, I have an attempt to make the initial Makonde's design idea a little stranger. I like the ears on this one, but the eyes not so much. Then I tried some variants on the regular bunny hood design. I made the ears rectangular here, and I add some strips of cloth to obscure the face a bit. On the second attempt of this, I gave the mask a full pattern veil, and I gave it some bunny paw shoulder pads. Classy looking. Another culture I referenced was the Dogon of Mali. This design here has a face similar to Dogon masks, and ears similar in style to the turrets atop the buildings of Mali. It's of course worth mentioning that some scholars believe that the architectural style of Mali is derived from the mask making style of the Dogon. The Dogon people are one of the most studied people in Africa, so you can expect that we will talk about their culture more in a future episode. And likely we will do the same for many of the other cultures that are being referenced in this episode as well. At the bottom of this page we got another sketch that sort of combines some of the Makonde and the Dogon stuff that we've drawn so far, and it even incorporates the little bunny paws in there as well. It's on the chin of the mask, by the way, if you can't see the paws. Eventually I did this other sketch that was also inspired by the Makonde mask, and once I did this one I was sure this had to be the one, so I went ahead and did some color studies, as you can see here, and then I went to finalize it. So for this series I wanted to try a different medium than I usually use. So instead of acrylics, I went ahead and got out my old oil pastels. Haven't used them in a long time, wanted to give it a shot. As you can see, I took the rounder ears that was present in one of the other sketches and combined them with the final sketch's total image. I felt like it gelled a little better, you know? Because in the final sketch we had more geometric type ears, and it didn't quite fit the more rounder form of the overall mask. I think this was a neat drawing here, but quite frankly I wasn't totally satisfied with it. The idea of the show is to make these masks look mystical and have some Nyama, you know? So, to do that I went back to the drawing board. So I tried to reference another culture, the Dan people. Specifically I referenced the Dan's runner mask, which made sense since the bunny hood is all about making you run fast in the game, and the Dan's runner mask is worn by people who run. One of the uses of this mask was if there was a fire that started to spread in the village, the wearer of the Dan mask had to run around town warning everyone of the fire. That way the village could act together to prevent the fire from spreading to other parts of the village. Moving on, we have this cool little double mask over here. The plainer part would go over the face and the more elaborate part would be above the head. Also, this doodle exists. He's got big old buck teeth. Then I tried a Chihuahua-like image. You may have heard me mention that the Chihuahua is an agricultural spirit in another video. That was the Mario Maker video. It's also worth noting that the Chihuahua masqueraders dance with 2 sticks in their hands so that they can imitate a 4-legged animal. Over here I tried a slightly different type of Chihuahua, except this time from a front view, and then a very different Chihuahua style over here. After that drawing, I thought to myself, well, instead of using the traditional raffia covering, why not go with a cloth covering underneath the Chihuahua-like design? Which I will admit, this particular design kind of looks like one of those monks from Breath of the Wild. That might have been an unintentional thing. I can't honestly remember. Finally, while doing this cloth type design, it sort of reminded me of the Gun masks, which led me to this last sketch. The Gun are linked with the veneration of the ancestors. When you honor the ancestors, they may help you in your daily life. Sometimes the Gun will act like the ancestors themselves, and other times they will just dance to entertain while veneration of the ancestors is taking place. They are made by the Yoruba of Nigeria. Fun fact, Nigeria has the 7th largest population on Earth. Now, as I said previously, I wanted to try different materials for this series. This time I didn't go with the pastels though. Instead of oil pastels, I used what's known as gouache paint. Now this is quite different than acrylics. Gouache is basically watercolor, but it's a super concentrated watercolor. So in that sense, it's a lot more forgiving than normal watercolors, because it's so thick that you can actually paint over things. And gouache paint actually comes with white paint, because when you're using watercolor, you're supposed to use the white of the paper for your light parts. But with gouache, you can actually add white to your colors to make them brighter. I actually started this project before I had all my video recording stuff set up, which is why you're seeing only the finishing touches being added to the artwork. Now, in later episodes, I'm going to try to show you more of the image making process. What can be seen in this recording, though, is the application of a bold purple outline to the overall image. The reason for this is I wanted the mask to pop more off of the paper, and I chose dark purple because I figured that was a good color for masks from Majora's Mask. So this mask would of course have this cloth veil over the face with this elaborate design on it. Now I know the bunny hood is meant to be used while Link is running, and this may seem like a cumbersome thing to run with, but then again, Link runs with a bomb strapped to his face in Majora's Mask, so who gives a shit? Plus, there are certain masks in Africa that are even more decked out and more elaborate than this one, and they dance with those masks just fine. If you're wondering why there's no eyes included, it's because I was trying to impart a more mysterious quality to this image. The bunny hood used to be this cutesy little thing, and now we have a mystical golden idol. I hope you enjoyed what you saw today, my friends. Thanks for watching, and stay tuned, because we're gonna do every single mask in Majora's Mask. Next time, we'll probably either do the Mask of Truth, the Postman Hat, or the Gibdo Mask. That said, let me know which one you'd like to see next. You can recommend any mask from the game. If you enjoyed today's video, please like, comment, subscribe, and all that good stuff. Have a great day, my friends. Alrighty, that's all, folks.